Oh my gosh, no exit? Flights canceled as the world starts to shift their sentiments towards traveling to America. Listen, if you are unaware of what just happened in the last 24 to 48 hours, this video is going to blow your mind because just a couple of hours ago, just like a day or so ago, a seemingly routine tech glitch outage at the United Airlines triggered a nationwide, in America, grounding of all main flights. What sounded like a quick computer glitch deeply turned and morphed into something that showed structural fragility, and we're going to talk about it in this video. Because obviously, if you are an expat, if you're a traveler, if you're someone that's going to become an expat soon, you need to understand these different flight routes and what's happening so that you are not caught on the wrong side of a misscheduled flight. You know, we're starting to see how quickly mobility and trade and your freedoms can disappear just overnight with a quick tech glitch that happens. And this should be a wake-up call for all of us, okay? So let's break down what actually happened. On the evening of August 6th, United Airlines experienced a major technology failure, prompting ground stops at a few key hubs: Chicago, Denver, Newark, Houston, San Francisco, and more. Shout out to The Guardian for giving us that information. Now, the airline's critical system, Unimatic, which handles flight data, including weight, balance, and scheduling, went down. As you can imagine, that is going to be an airline disaster, an aviation disaster, if that technology cannot integrate to show you how much the plane actually weighs, the balance of everything. That can result in a lot of emergency issues, and safety precautions have to be in place. So it looks like the flights were grounded for a good reason. But I think what's so astounding is they had to be grounded in this tech glitch amongst multiple cities, which showed that it wasn't just one specific airplane itself, an aircraft itself, that was experiencing this issue, but a huger tech glitch. That's what they're calling it. To me, it seems like a little bit more than a glitch to happen in so many different cities at once and cause them to have to ground their flights. But we're going to follow these stories closely and see if these types of incidents increase over time. Now, I need you to go ahead and hit the like button. Share this with 5 to 10 people. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to hit the like button. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You should hit that like button, subscribe, because this sounds pretty crazy, doesn't it? Now get this. Over 1,000 flights were delayed. Roughly 6%, roughly 35% canceled. Okay, this is coming from people.com. And this disruption affected both domestic and international flight routes. As you can imagine, if you have some of these international flights in like Miami and New York, they could have been going to Africa, the Middle East, Europe. And so those flights would have been delayed as well. So the entire aviation industry across the world probably would have been aware of that, okay? Again, United classified this as a controllable delay and offered compensation, hotels, meals, and waived booking fees through mid-August, according to the New York Post. Shout out to them for that information, okay? So it's looking like these disruptions are not accidents by any means. These are actually warnings that we should be paying attention to, you know? We've been talking about embassy closures, visa travel bans. Oh, and I forgot to even tell you guys and inform you, I didn't make like a separate video about this, but the fact that African immigrants now have to pay $15,000 or have a $15,000 bond to even get to America. And so we're starting to see that the world is looking at travel as something that does not need to happen. They're looking at travel as something that's like, hey, we don't want people really moving around freely all like that anymore. Whatever the next phase that is coming up, leave a comment down below if you feel this sentiment as well, if you feel like something is off. Whatever this next phase that's coming up, especially after October 2025, is going to have people staying in place, similar to the 2020 planned lockdown demic thing that was going on. Now, I want you to also remember the Alaska Airlines IT outage. That was huge, and Delta's mass failures in 2024. We are honestly seeing a quite troubling pattern. We're seeing that flights are being canceled, technology is being disrupted. We don't know if it's like a cyber attack. We don't know if it's like a lack of funding. We don't know if it's like not enough people know what they're doing in these companies, but it's happening nonetheless. If you guys remember, around last year this time, the CrowdStrike system failure resulted in 7,000 flights being canceled, affecting 1.3 million passengers. Do you guys remember that? We covered it on a live video about a year or so ago. And then with Alaska Airlines, they had the IT architecture outage, okay? Shout out to the sun.co for having that information that is available for us to see. So ultimately, these cascading failures expose dependency on fragile infrastructure. Once technology fails at the end of the day, freedom of movement begins to disappear in the blink of an eye. And let's talk about why this matters for you before we get into also, I want to go to other parts of the world while we're talking right here, because I also don't want to just zoom in on America. I want to look at how Europeans are not flying to America, how European airlines are basically on strike and not functioning all that well. Like those people are not really traveling over there, and how even in Australia, their flight patterns are changing as well. For those of us who call multiple places home, we are global citizens, we are expats, we like to pay attention to what is going on. These are not fly-by-night malfunctions, right? These signal a shift in digital policy and sovereignty. We're seeing freedom of movement now depending on operational servers and corporate policy. We're seeing identity-based travel restrictions that can become the next biometrics, crypto IDs, and even digital profiles to permit clearance. And we are also seeing a global travel alert. If airlines can be paralyzed domestically, imagine what rougher geopolitics or controlling regimes are going to do. This is not paranoia, this is prophecy. Think about Revelations 13 and the mark of the beast, where access equals identity. And listen, my friend, as if that was not enough, get this. This is coming from Australia, okay? Jetstar, look, if you have been subscribed to this channel and you have been, oh my gosh, you know what I just realized? I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell you about the Mature Adult Coaching Traveling Intensive. You see, I'm living in Mauritius, Africa. I actually retired early. I'm literally on a partial sabbatical. That's why I'm always so cheerful to come on here, because your girl has been chilling. I have been chilling, taking long, hour-long walks with my husband, going to the beach, seeing if we want to go on a boating adventure with the kids here soon when the weather clears up a bit. And you know, Mauritius is the perfect place to do so because they have the premium digital nomad visa. Listen, if you don't know about Mauritius, you should definitely check out the Mauritius Africa playlist on our channel. But also, if you are a mature adult or you are ready for a sabbatical, you've been hustling, your business is going off the chain, you have your employees in place, they can handle things for you and you can relax, but you can't get your mind around how to relax. You can't get your mind around the systems and the finances behind, okay, how do I really take this sabbatical? What are the things I need to look out for? How do I want to travel during this sabbatical? And you feel like you need an extra hand. You need a bit more accountability. We welcome you to the Mature Adult Retirement Intensive, which is also for those who want to take a full sabbatical or a pre-partial sabbatical. Check out the link in the description. And also, we had a phenomenal time last night for the clients that were actually in America. It was the afternoon for them. For us, it was nighttime. We had a phenomenal time in the state of the diaspora. So many people are looking at the Mascarene Islands as being their place to live, retire, to work, to do whatever they like. As we were talking to them about yesterday in the state of the diaspora, which was the 11th edition, some are like, yeah, I think it may be good for me to open up my practice out there, but some are of retirement age and some are digital nomads, some are just exploring and seeing what's out there, because everyone knows that the West is falling, and we personally believe that you deserve to live your dream life. We know you've been hustling in corporate America. We know you've been hustling and worried in Western society. And so if you are anything like us and you value your health, your sanity, your peace, and you value travel, then either one of those intensive programs could be for you. Links are in the description. By October 2025, Jetstar Australia is going to fully exit the US market. Guys, how many times? Somebody chime in down below if y'all been paying attention. How many times have we been seeing this date, October 2025? Just off the top of my head, remember the EU digital currency type of situation is going to go in effect in October 2025. Australia is canceling their Jetstar flights fully. They're fully exiting the US market. They're like, we're not even gonna fly to America anymore. We're not even interested in going, like fully exiting the US market. Suspending its long-running Sydney to Honolulu route. Its last flight occurred on April 30th, and decision reflects declining demand and strategic refocusing. Shout out to news.com.au, okay? Separately, broader international disruptions involving the Middle East airspace due to geopolitical tensions like what's happening with Israel, Iran, and Gaza have had downstream effects on flights globally as well, including Australia and the US through forced rerouting or flight delays, okay? Now, can we talk about Europe real quick for a minute? Let's talk about it, okay? Why Europe is canceling flights to the US. We are seeing operational disruptions driving European cancellations, and the fact that many Europeans, and Europe is a rather large continent made up of lots of countries, okay? 27 countries at least make up the actual EU. But Europe's summer of 2025 has been marred by a lack of traveling to the States and disruptions because they are refusing to go to America. If you're European, chime in below and let the Americans know why you're not going to America. They may want to know, okay? And listen, on top of that, chronic air traffic control shortages, frequent strikes, and outdated systems with extreme weather. Sorry to France, right now they're experiencing, I'm gonna have to cover it in another video. Y'all know there's so much happening on planet Earth, but France is going through some very big wildfires just in the last 24 to 48 hours, okay? And then storm events like Storm Flores have significantly impacted operations at major hubs such as Heathrow, Charles de Gaulle, and Schiphol travelers. Now, this is coming from the Politico.com. This decline is showing that travel from Europe to America has dipped exceedingly. Let's get to these percentages. In 2025, European travel bookings to the US, get this, dropped approximately 13% as travelers increasingly chose Canada, South America, or Mexico instead. Shout out to the New York Post. Thank you for that. Airlines report declining demand on transatlantic flight routes as well, with Air France KLM seeing a 2.4% decrease in bookings to the US, while inbound bookings from the US to Europe have actually rose. And so you see Americans are like, you know what, it's time for me to leave this place behind. I'd much rather live in Europe. Let me know down below. What do you think of that? Like, do you think all of this is just a coincidence? It's just nothing's happening? Let me know if you agree with that sentiment, okay? On top of that, major disruptions have been observed. Germany saw a 17% drop in visitors to the US. So the Germans, okay, the Germans are like, we don't want to go to America, okay? Germany and Spain together declined at 30% and 25% respectively, okay? And to me, these are big numbers. Like, my husband and I, we are entrepreneurs, we are investors. And so if you see a stock drop 17%, you're gonna be like, it's a stock market crash, it's done, it's over. So this is literally, when I say the collapse of American tourism, I'm not just being exaggerated. Like, literally, these percentages are huge. These percentages are going to make a dent in American tourism, okay? And civil society has also driven this trend with consumer boycotts and political distrust affecting American tourism, okay? That said, there are positive signs. Travel demand is beginning to rebound a bit thanks to price reduction and deposit incentives. Now, Canadians are also in this as well. Y'all know the Canadians have been like, look, we're not cool with you anymore as much as we used to be, America. Canada is also finding alternative routes, even though it's just right there across the border. I'm from Ohio, Lake Erie, I'm not too far away from Canada. I actually went to Canada as a very young child. I don't remember what I actually did because I was a toddler. Europeans are increasingly choosing Canada over the US. August 2025 already has seen a record 5% increase in flights between Europe and Canada compared to a modest 4% growth on US to Europe routes. Shout out to Business Insider. And listen to this number, $29 billion. That is the projected decline as visitors turn instead towards other destinations like Mexico and Canada. Shout out to beaumounterprise.com. Wow. Guys, these statistics are alarming. These statistics should have you I don't want you to just be so worried that you're just losing it, but I want you to be alert and aware. You know, I was actually doing a Bible study last night. I'm going to see if I can give you a few of the scriptures I was looking at, actually. Let me go get them for you. I got your back. Now get this, Ephesians chapter 5, verses 15 through 16. See then that you walk circumspectly. Circumspectly meaning like circ is that root word that means circle, looking around, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. You see how Ephesians 5 doesn't say ignore everything that's happening, look just in one direction. It literally says, walk circumspectly, redeeming the time because the days are evil. The Most High through Paul is trying to say you need to put on a type of watchman or watchwoman spirit and say, okay, let me look and see what's happening. I need to redeem the time because the times are very evil. The times are different. The times are not regular anymore. I need to walk circumspectly and see what's happening, okay? So I just pulled that from my actual Bible study last night. I think this is something that you really need to pay attention to. We need to put on a spirit of strength and understand what's happening, okay? Also remember 1 Corinthians 2, 14 through 15. The natural man does not receive the things of the spirit of Elohim. He is spiritually discerned, okay? It's time to be spiritually discerned. And then lastly, 1 Thessalonians 5 and 6. So then, let us not sleep as others do, but let us watch and be sober. So watch and be sober is literally saying pay attention to what's happening out there, but be sober about it. You don't need to just cry or be angry or get all chaotic, but watch and be sober and do not sleep as the others do. Yah is calling you to alertness spiritually, geopolitically, and economically so that you know how to maneuver in these last days. I will leave those scriptures down below for you in case you would like to do your own Bible study. Because, you know, these times they're quite interesting. That's I don't know how else to put it. It's quite interesting. Nonetheless, stay blessed, stay discerning, stay understanding, and trust Yah above all. Understand that if he is calling you out of the West, he will be the one to complete that service that he is doing through you. If he has called you out of America, out of Canada, out of the UK, there is no force on the entire planet that can stop you. How do I know? I'm living proof. My family's living proof. Y'all know we've been outside of America for over 5 years and will continue to do so by the grace, the hand of the Most High, as he has ordained for us in obedience. Shalom, shalom. Stay blessed. Share this, like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.